Lower-class weddings are the laughingstock of TikTok, with creators like Madison Humphrey spoofing viral videos of ceremonies that fall short of the extravagant standards that social media considers acceptable. If a wedding goes viral for being a little rough around the edges, the masses are quick to tag her in the comments. If a couple wants to avoid being the subject of parody, they must conform to every micro-trend to keep up appearances. Unfortunately, custom butter sculptures and monogrammed aprons for the staff, among other lavish expenditures, are out of reach for most people. This is why few have the costly ceremonies that are commonplace on TikTok and Instagram. In fact, most people wouldn't think twice if their friend had a backyard wedding, yet many will make fun of strangers online for having one. Rather than mocking weddings that fail to meet the expectations of the ruthless masses on social media, perhaps it's time to take a step back and remember what normal weddings look like, the kind that people in our tax bracket can actually afford. Weddings were once intimate events reserved for friends and family, but today they're plastered all over social media for millions of strangers to virtually partake in. The more unconventional your wedding is, for better or for worse, the higher the likelihood that a clip of it goes viral on TikTok. Whenever a wedding goes viral, Madison Humphrey's fans anxiously await her parody of it on her TikTok page, which has amassed 4.8 million followers. Though over-the-top wedding moments are most often the subject of her parodies, occasionally she'll spoof a wedding that went viral not for its extravagance, but for its lowliness. In her quest to recreate viral wedding videos bar for bar, she doesn't seem to examine why a given video went viral before she spoofs it, even though it's quite important for an internet comedian to know what the joke is and whether people are laughing with someone or at someone. With some wedding videos she has spoofed, it's clear why everyone finds them amusing, but with others, it's less clear what the joke is. For instance, this video was the subject of one of her parodies, but the reasons why it went viral are a little suspect. You could say it went viral because the couple tripped over a trash can, but you would be wrong, because most of the comments weren't talking about that. Most were complaining about the couple's attire, the venue, which appears to be a random patch of grass near a parking lot, and overall criticizing the shoestring budget of the wedding. Everyone seemed to ignore the point of the video as stated in the caption, that perhaps it's okay not to drop 50 grand for a one-day event. It seems Madison Humphrey and her parody are cashing in on the hilarity of having a lower-class wedding, whether that was her intention or not. This is not to say that Madison Humphrey is a bad person or that she deserves to be canceled. In fact, she asks permission from each couple before making her parodies, and I don't believe there's any malice involved here. I'm simply wondering what makes a humble backyard wedding just as much of a spectacle as an elaborate swimming pool wedding, complete with a man riding on a jet ski in the background. Clearly, weddings must fit a certain mold to avoid ridicule online, and this mold is shaped by our social media feeds. Pinterest has set the bar impossibly high, showing married couples to be a sea of unrealistic wedding inspiration pics. Most show weddings far outside normal people's budgets, and some are completely unattainable because they were generated with AI, like this picture, where the chairs are warping and merging into the tablecloth. TikTok has also set wedding expectations sky high, with wedding planning content amassing millions of views in the algorithm. Couples also post slideshows of their storybook ceremonies for everyone to swoon over. The more aesthetic and expensive looking a wedding is, the more views it garners. When it comes to wedding content, the algorithm rewards conformity. TikTok is abound with wedding microtrends that everyone quickly adopts. Every wedding has to check all the boxes to be acceptable, from the burgundy and chartreuse color scheme to the calligraphic name cards and invitations. It's bizarre to me that people will put so much money into a deeply personal event just for it to look like every other wedding. I thought weddings were about customization, with everything perfectly tailored to the couple, from the vows down to the pattern on the tablecloths. Ideally, couples shouldn't care what anyone else thinks, but many seem afraid of standing out and diverting from the Pinterest playbook. Considering the tremendous amount of stress of planning a wedding that ends up catering to everyone else's tastes and not the couple's, it's no wonder why people choose to elope or have a courthouse wedding instead. There are those who choose not to throw a 5-figure wedding, and there are others who don't have the option in the first place. The average cost of a wedding in the US is $30,000 according to The Knot, which is the price of a brand new car. If you want a social media worthy wedding, $30,000 could be the price of the venue alone with no add-ons. Some have no choice but to throw a backyard wedding, which carries a lot of cultural baggage due to classism. Traditional, expensive weddings bring to mind the likes of Princess Diana, literal royals getting married in cathedrals. Backyard weddings, on the other hand, bring to mind the image of Mama June in her camo wedding dress on the show Here Comes Honey Boo Boo. There's a very specific way lower-class American weddings are portrayed in movies and TV shows, and most viral TikTok clips of backyard weddings reinforce certain stereotypes. This clip of a backyard wedding in a trailer park received nearly 1 million likes, and there's nothing notable or entertaining about it other than the fact that the couple probably didn't have $30,000 lying around to have a more elaborate ceremony. You see these stereotypes in Madison Humphrey's parodies, from the tank tops to the bandanas and tractors. I don't think these videos would be viral if the attendees were in tuxes and gowns and the venue was Lake Como. This is more of an observation than a criticism. Again, Madison Humphrey is not some kind of villain here. It is, however, clear that the humor in these parodies is the low-income, rural aesthetic. People find the original videos funny not entirely because the people in them are poor, but rather that they choose not to emulate the aesthetics of a classy wedding. It costs nothing not to wear bandanas and tank tops, and camo print wedding dresses are probably more expensive than more traditional ones, which can be bought on Shein for less than $40, but these couples intentionally go against the grain. In this way, Madison Humphrey's parodies end up policing attire or behaviors deemed inappropriate at weddings. Not getting 1 million comments tagging her under your wedding video is a sign that you're normal, and being the subject of her parodies indicates that something you did was classless or uncouth. All the faux pas committed by the subjects of her parodies are diversions from wedding customs that are entirely arbitrary. The only thing that should matter is whether the couple getting married is happy with the ceremony. If people want to get married wearing tank tops, then so be it. Who says they have to spend $10,000 on an outfit? Rather than working within their budget and catering to their own preferences, people tend to let social media dictate what kind of wedding they end up having. Many couples will go into debt to pay for unnecessary add-ons to their wedding package instead of saving money toward buying a home or retirement. As the economy worsens, perhaps we'll see a rise in backyard weddings, but on social media, it's clear that the poorer people get, the more lavish viral weddings will become. Anyway, I'm Robert Tolpe, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I hope you have a great week. Bye-bye!